We welcome everyone to Phoenix, Arizona. Predictably, it's very hot this time of year in the desert. Nick Davila has been hot all season and making a strong case for his third league MVP. For Cleveland, Arvel Nelson has been a revelation, one of the bright young stars in the AFL. Our site, Talking Stick Resort Arena, downtown Phoenix, Arizona. AFL on ESPN, the Cleveland Gladiators and the Arizona Rattlers. Good evening to everyone. Ari Wolf here in the desert. What's at stake tonight? For the Arizona Rattlers, if they get a win and Orlando loses again, whether it be in their regular season finale next week or any time in the playoffs, the Rattlers could host Arena Bowl 29. For Cleveland, they're coming off a heartbreaking loss at Los Angeles. They need a win tonight and an LA loss next week. Then they would host Los Angeles in the opening round of the playoffs. Now I bring in my Hall of Fame partner, Sid Bonner, and Sid, the Arizona Rattlers, since losing to Tampa Bay in what Coach Kevin Guy described as the worst loss in franchise history, they've reeled off 6 straight wins, and those 3 amigos are playing great football.
That's saying something. I was a part of a couple of those bad losses, but these guys have gotten healthy. The 3 amigos are probably the 3 best receiver-quarterback tandems in this league. These guys have been dominant. These 2 receivers have 71 of Nick Davila's 104 touchdowns. These guys get it done. They're big, physical. They make all the plays. They make Nick Davila go.
They are special now for Cleveland. Arvel Nelson said this guy can do it all, and he's got a charisma, a personality. This guy is a lot of fun to watch.
And we're both smiling talking about it because he's an infectious personality. He gets you going. He gets you excited to watch him. He's got 68 touchdowns on the season, 11 interceptions. He also has 11 touchdowns rushing. Keep your eye on this guy. He's one of the rising stars in this league. Big-time playmaker for Cleveland.
No outside stunting or twisting. The rebound net is live, and one wide receiver may be in forward motion prior to the snap. Head coaches in tonight's game, they are no strangers to the AFL. Kevin Guy has been the head coach here in Arizona since 2008. Stevie Tunn, just 2 years ago, led Cleveland to a 17-1 mark. And these 2 teams faced off in that Arena Bowl, which Arizona won comfortably. Arizona wins the toss. They defer. They'll get the ball at the start of the 3rd quarter. The key for Cleveland tonight, said, is find a way to keep this game in the 50s. If this becomes a shootout, it's going to be hard to keep up with the Rattlers.
Well, talking with Coach Zaleski before the game, he said Arizona's only run an average of 44 plays a game offensively. They need to force Arizona to run more plays, because with more plays comes more opportunities to make mistakes. They've got a good formula. They've got to ask their young guys to go out and perform it now.
So we are set for football. 15 minutes on the clock in the snake pit. Here we go. Larry Beavers is back deep. Yep. So loose football. Colin Taylor got a hand on it, then it hits off the side of the boards, which immediately ends the play. And here is Arvel Nelson. And he is a physical specimen. 6'5", 225 pounds.
He may be bigger than 6'5", Ari. He looked gigantic.
He did. You see the rushing numbers. Take a look at the rest of the Gladiator starting offense. Colin Taylor is one of the most consistent, solid receivers in the AFL. We both thought Devin Wilson was a revelation when they won in Jacksonville a few weeks ago. He's coming on strong.
He's only got 17 receptions with 9 touchdowns. He's getting it done.
No Quentin Sims tonight, and that was actually a running play. That was a dangerous play there as he pitched it backwards about a yard. They're saying it's safety.
You want to try and start out early with quicks, but this gets blown up from the beginning.
And it is ruled officially a safety.
Pitch goes to lateral. And look at the quickness of Rodney Fritz to get outside and shut that play down immediately.
You know, that's a play, though, where he was first touched. He was still in the field of play. He was not in the end zone.
And Steve's going to take a look at it. Steve Tom.
safety. The previous play is under further review.
It was a bang-bang play, but it looked like the tackle started before he got into the end zone.
Where his momentum was stopped, which was outside the end zone.
Yes. I mean, at first glance, it did not look like safe. Yeah, touched. All right, it's time for our call to the booth, and you at home will have a chance to listen in.
The ruling on the field is a safety, so we need any visual evidence that the ball carrier's progress is stopped outside of the goal line. And he needs full possession of the football. All right, he's kind of bobbling right there. He's not having full possession until he's in that end zone. Yeah, if he can. Yeah, his momentum's not stopped until he's in the end zone. And that he bobbled that. His foot, run that back and then stop it when his left foot's in the end zone. Okay, run it back one more time. Okay, go forward. Okay, he's not stopped till right there. He's in the end zone when he starts running up the field. We're going to stick with the ruling on the field, Mike, for the safety.
All right, that's Scott Campbell talking to our television truck.
All right, thanks, guys.
Most transparent replay in all of sports.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Safety. Cleveland will be charged for the first time out of the half.
And this is the right call, and this is what happens right here. You've got to be a physical attack on their side of the ball. You can't catch. There is no contact by Samsel. He backs up, and Fritz has all that momentum going forward. You've got to attack, get the hands down to that defensive end. Samsel comes backfield. He almost sets, short sets. He's got to go attack.
And it's fair, there's blame to go all the way around here. I'm not sure about the play call. I frankly didn't think that Arvel did a great job getting the ball to him, and then Taylor didn't get the ball clean.
Well, get the ball clean, and actually, let's know where we're at on the field.
Yeah.
You know you're by the end zone, just catch it and get down immediately.
Again, we started the broadcast 2 minutes ago. I said one thing they can't do is get into a track meet. This is a worst-case scenario. You give up points and possession right out.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And not only that, you're on the road, giving momentum to one of the better teams in this league. You haven't had any stops. You've had 2 stops in the last 2 football games.
And keep this in mind for those of you scoring at home. When you think about this Rattler team and what they've been able to do at home, it's simply remarkable. Since 2012, they're 46-4, and this year they're 7-0.
It's amazing. But continuity breeds success.
Anthony Amos on the return. Amos! One man to beat. Anthony Amos, goodbye. Touchdown Rattlers, 56 yards.
Uh-oh. And what a start for the Rattlers. But look at 4 guys outside the right hash on that return. That is not good. You've got a guy that's got a great average on the season. Look at the 4 white shirts on the right side of the hash. Coming down out of control. You've got to stay in your lanes, maintain lane integrity.
Zayden Dejas on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. What a start for the Rattlers. 5-time champions trying to peak, get ready to win their 6th title. They get the safety out of the gate, kick return for the touchdown.
Please welcome around back as they upgrade Melissa and Lee to sweet seats in section 102, row 2. Enjoy the game.
60 minutes of physical football now, okay? Rattler brand style, okay? Let's get after them for 60 minutes, be the more physical team. Take care of the ball tonight now. Take care of the ball. Defense, I want you to be relentless tonight. Relentless, okay? Let's get after them. Let's get 5, 6 stops. Jump on these guys early. Start fast on them. Put the doubt in their head now. Let's go.
Oh, what's up, baby? We see you in here.
Huh?
ESPN, we're here tonight. Hold it down.
6, man.
Hold it down. Where the bomb squad at?
No, looking
What
good.
the bomb squad have to do?
Good.
He messes up, huh?
No.
And when this game got us out early, bomb squad.
$60 minutes of physical football now, okay? Rattler brand style, okay? Let's get after them for 60 minutes, be the more physical team. Take care of the ball tonight now. Take care of the ball. Defense, I want you to be relentless tonight. Relentless, okay? Let's get after them. Let's get 5, 6 stops. Jump on these guys early. Start fast on them. Put the doubt in their head now. Let's go.
Oh, what's up, baby? We see you in here.
Huh?
ESPN, we're here tonight. Hold it down.
6, man.
Hold it down. Where the bomb squad at?
No, looking
What
good.
the bomb squad have to do? He messes up, huh?
Arvel Nelson, we warned you, he's a good time. Now, he's got his work cut out for him. Suddenly down 9-0 in the snake pit.
I can tell you this right now. These guys will continue to battle because that's just what they do in Cleveland. They grind and they will continue to battle, but they have dug themselves a nice sized hole early in this game.
Well, LeBron showed him. You got to dig deep. You come back from 3-1 down in the finals. You come back in a regular season game here in the AFL. Beavers to the 12-yard line. Monday night, we'll have 2 super sluggers leading their teams with Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers. Start a 3-game series against Big Papi and the Red Sox. 7 Eastern on ESPN, also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. After the game, stay with ESPN for baseball tonight with all the highlights and analysis from the best in the business. Arvel Nelson, a little more time to work with. A little more space to work with. Last time he started out on his 2. Arvel Nelson in trouble, and he'll get sacked. Rattler front leads the AFL. They have 24 sacks. Tyson gets in there. Boy, he's quick off the ball.
He really is, and he gives them a difference in that middle. You're used to that strong power, but he just takes Joe Matson back, and welcome back. Matson didn't play a week ago. That's a great, powerful bull rush. We used to see Antosh Hawthorne doing that. Demetrio Tyson does a great job with the bull rush.
And then Burrell comes in there to clean it up.
Those 2 guys are awesome together. Young bulls on that D-line.
Nelson with a little bit of time, and he misses Beavers. The Arizona defense up front, those guys have really come up big. 15.5 sacks between them. And then in the back, now that Jeremy Kellum is back, they've got the stability on the back end.
They do, and they're looking more and more like a championship caliber defense. These guys can rush the passer with power. When you're back on that back end and you know guys aren't going to have a whole lot of time to throw it, you can squat on routes and make some early decisions.
3rd and long, Nelson, and he's short with it, looking for Colin Taylor. And that safety on that first play, it seems to have rattled Cleveland. And Arvel Nelson normally walks around with quite a swagger. He looks uncomfortable.
He does look uncomfortable. Right there in the drop, you see at the top of that, he's drifting away. He's trying to throw the ball out to the right. He's got a strong arm, but your accuracy tends to fade if you're not set trying to push the ball. Keep in mind, they're also playing without Quentin Sims, who's one of their top receivers on the team, 2nd in touchdowns to Colin Taylor.
Sims last year played a couple games for the Arizona Rattlers. Unable to go this week. On 4th down, Nelson, the throw, and it's broken up. The Rattler defense comes up with the stop. What a start. Defense and special teams coming up big for Kevin Guy.
And he's just not solving this trap. They're going to run with this man here. Once he comes across, the motion's going to go. And it's just a switch. If he sees it early, he can get the ball out early, but they're confusing him with their looks. And then you throw Dan Buckner, who's 6'5", standing out there in the jack linebacker spot.
And Nelson has felt pressure. He takes another hit. Instead, the scary part is it's 9-0, and this is the first play of the game for Nick Davila and those three amigos, Nick, Rod Windsor, and Maurice Purify.
I mean, haven't been out here long. The dust still hasn't settled. The smoke from the pregame.
Davila, lots of time, looking for Windsor, touchdown Rattlers.
This is a choice route by Windsor at the back of the end zone. Excellent. But look at the big man up front, shutting it down. I mean, that's a great looking pocket. But watch the choice route. He sticks it to the post real hard, comes out.
That throw
tell you what,
literally hit Rod on the one.
And that's where it's supposed to hit him. That's a great job. I tell you what, lefty can spin it. And when you give him time like that, when you don't get after him, he will crush you.
Zendejas. And he pushes this one to the right. Nick Davila. He has been doing this for a long time. Makes it look so easy. Hits the spot and then celebrates.
We haven't pressed you all week at the 10. Chips, we haven't. The only person that's down is D-Rob, right? Only person down is D-Rob. You sit up and help with that, but then you still got to talk football. No, we're not talking about that. Listen, we don't know about this. Oh, we know he's going for it. We know that. Hey.
All right, night man, it's time to get out of your seat and on your feet. It's the time for Buffalo Wild Wings Chicken Dance Camp. Don't be a chicken, do the chicken dance, and you can win a great prize back from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Holy shit, this got at it. For the latest news, scores, and stats, log on to arenafootball.com. Whether you want to check out special features on the league's brightest stars or watch live games via the ESPN3 video player, arenafootball.com is where it's at. Okay, Sid Bonner, you're in the snake pit. You're down 15-zip. You barely played 5 minutes. What's the message from Steve Tunn to this Gladiator team?
You got to play. I mean, it's that simple. You got to go out and play. You've done everything wrong. So right now, just turn it loose and let it go. See what happens. You never know in this game. There's so many things that happen in the NFL game that don't happen on the outdoor game. You've got to just keep playing.
Well, Beavers was a little bit of friendly fire there. As Lewis was trying to make the block, 8 yards on the return, and this Rattler team is flying around. One thing to keep in mind, both these teams have a bye week in the final week of the regular season, so this will be the last game for both teams before the postseason.
Well, and if you're Cleveland, you know you got to come through here. If Arizona advances up to the first round, you got to come through here if you want to go win a championship. You got to buckle down, try and make some plays, and just get back in this game.
Nelson, quick hitter, gets the completion. That's Devin Wilson, the rookie out of Tennessee State. It's just his 18th reception of the season, but good news for Cleveland fans, 9 of his 18 catches have gone for touchdowns.
And he's been doing a great job on special teams for the Gladiators as well, but you know, when you got one of your top guys out of the lineup, it matters. Quentin Sims done an outstanding job, come on strong.
See if Nelson can settle in here. He gets to Colin Taylor, and he has the first down. First down of the night for the Cleveland Gladiators. Arvel Nelson started his college career at Iowa. Things didn't work out. Ends up finishing his college career at Texas Southern. This is a guy who's been looking for a chance to be a starter. He's bounced around the AFL. Other teams have had a chance. Steve Tunt puts this guy in the lineup, and he has established himself as the long-term answer.
He put him in the lineup by necessity.
Yes.
I mean, guys went down. Finally gets the opportunity, and he's really done a nice job of showing.
And right there on
great ball.
point, right to Larry Beavers.
Tyree Glassberg puts the hammer down. This ball is thrown before the receiver breaks, and this is what's called anticipation. Take a look at the protection. Good swim move, and stands in there, but watch the ball come out before the receiver even breaks to the middle. I mean, that is a great throw on any level of football. That's a fantastic throw.
First and goal, Nelson. And Wilson really had a size advantage on KJ Morton, but didn't get his body turned.
Well, they're trying to work the slant route. And one thing that will kill a quarterback is if you don't force your way in there on a slant. You've got to find your way inside. He gets trapped outside. You watch him get trapped outside. Look at the DB take away the inside, and he doesn't fight to get in there or move the DB at all. So fortunate that ball wasn't picked off.
Morton, the rookie out of Baylor, played some big games at Baylor, 3 bowl games, including a BCS game in 2013. Nelson looking for Wilson, tried to bring it in with one hand, can't make the play. Jeremy Kellum in coverage.
And this ball gets away from him because he doesn't set his feet. He doesn't set his feet, he just comes out and he's off balance. You're just trying to throw the fade route, you got size. And the ball gets away from him because he doesn't plant and push. And I tell you, if you're the receiver there, you can't just run to the wall. You're taking away your field if you do that. You've got to stay on top of the cornerback and make a play from there.
Third down. Nelson buying time. And he'll get sacked for the second time.
This takes a long time, but this is press coverage. You see a man for man at the line of scrimmage. A good switch there by the 2 defensive backs. And that's a great job of being at home. Knowing you've got a great athlete. And look at Tyree Glassberg.
He looks like the 2015 version of Tyree Glassberg. He's flying around.
It's money time, baby. The guy's coming out.
Well, if you're Arizona, you're only playing for winning Arena Bowl titles, so they get serious at the end of the year. Arvel Nelson. Lots of time. Colin Taylor's got it. Touchdown, Cleveland. There is a flag inside the 1.
Pass interference, number 17, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 4th down.
We're going to get Colin Taylor on the PI, and he is lined up right here. We're going to watch it. Well, that's a jack linebacker. He doesn't need to push him, but he did push him. That's the right call. Can't stick your hands out.
Timeout, Cleveland. Their second timeout here in the first half. And they've got 4th and goal from the 16-yard line, trailing 15-0. We'll take a quick break when we come back. 4th down for Arvel Nelson and the Gladiators.
The most memorable college football moment was my senior year. We got to play against the number 17th ranked team in the nation, Rattlers, and we ended up winning pretty big. And with that win, we were able to get accepted into a couple bowl games. When I'm not playing football, my favorite thing to do is hang out with my son Moses. Wrestling fans. is probably the long hair don't care back in the day when before I became a father and I was a little bit more on the wild side. It's like the saying, Samson, it has the power in the hair. I'm Nick Devin. Thanks for going in the trenches.
The Red Pack as they deliver delicious streets of New York pizza to the lucky Rattlers fans seated in Section 1.
You're just joining us. First play from scrimmage, safety. Then the kickoff, Anthony Amos. Kick return for the touchdown. And their first offensive play from scrimmage, Davila to Windsor. We've said that a lot over the years.
A ton over the years. And they make it look easy.
How about that? Arizona one play, but yet they lead 15-0.
I tell you, turnovers and miscues and mistakes have really cost them early. That first play really has shown what this game has been about.
Nelson, 4th and goal. Gonna get hit, scramble, throw it to the end zone, caught!
No way.
Touchdown Gladiators! That's why Arvel Nelson is so fun to watch.
I mean, Lou Vasquez, I mean, these guys are getting after it. Take a look at the coverage here, but it just breaks down. It's so long, and there's 2-on-1 up top here, and that's just a blown coverage. You have 2 men up top. That's a blown coverage, and KG will be extremely upset about that.
Extra point, Adrian Trevino is good.
4:26 to go, first quarter.
You got guys on the ropes, right? You got a team on the ropes right there. And you let them off the hook, but this relentless pressure is getting after Arvel Nelson. And there's no answer up front. He rips through with his power and strength and just gets it off.
I mean, 3 guys had a shot at him, and he still made the play.
6'4", 6'5", 230. Big man, strong man. And that's what makes him so exciting.
Right there. I mean, this play says all you need to know to get hit like that on the right arm.
Take a look. There's a miscommunication between these 2 DBs. They both jump, and it's over with right there. There's a single receiver there, only 1 DB on that side of the field. KG, I would not want to be around Kevin right now, Coach Guy. That's the kind of thing that really irritates him. You've got a team locked down, you've got the right call, and we blow it.
On the other side of things, given how long the play took, if you're those DBs, you know you're in scramble mode. Give him a break. Arvel Nelson just made an incredible play. I mean, how long are you supposed to stay with your guy?
It's not about staying with your guy. Do what you're supposed to do. That was a blown coverage. That's a blown coverage right there. So that's what the problem is. It wasn't like they had coverage and then they looked back and got tired of covering. They blew coverage. There's a difference.
Amos is deep. Yep. 56 yards on his last return. Can he do it again? Amos runs into his own guy, and then Larry Beavers forces him out of bounds at the 12-yard line. 17 yards on the return. Nick Davila putting together another MVP-type season. It's actually now 105 touchdowns. He's got 1 here in the first quarter.
Numbers are ridiculous.
Ridiculous. He's got a solid fullback in Benson, the receiving core. You just say Windsor and Purify. Frankly, Amos is terrific, but with just those 2, you can put almost anybody else out there. And then the protection's been pretty good. They've only allowed 7 sacks this year.
It's been great. And you throw in Michael Simons, who's got 2 touchdown receptions, and Michael Benson's the season he's having has really opened everything up.
Yeah.
They've always used the rushing attack from the fullback as well as the screen game. That's what makes this team so dangerous. They're not one-dimensional. They're not just going to drop back every time 5 steps and throw it, but they can use screens, runs, draws.
Yeah, that's what they did against Orlando. That's all they did. They just went with the short game, went with the quick game, and it worked.
All right.
The fact that Bo Purify's knee is feeling better, and he told us it directly on the before the game, you and I have talked many times. I always believe that if Windsor and Purify were on the field at the same time, that you didn't have a chance to win. Nobody could beat it.
Well, your defense would have to be so great, and your offense would have to be so stellar. It's tough. Those two guys are fantastic, and they're physical specimens. Then you throw in the young Anthony Amos in there, the guy that can play and run.
If they need to, Buckner, who can play both ways, he can come in the red zone. He's 6'5". I don't understand how you're supposed to come up with 3 DBs who can defend those 3 guys in the red zone. Now, the chain gang, they're having some issues. Really, the only thing that hasn't worked out here in Arizona so far.
They had to go back to the Boy Scout training right there.
If the season was over right now, is Nick Davila your MVP?
Yes.
That would be his 3rd, one in 2011, 2014. Here he's going up over the top to Purify. And Purify's jersey was held. That's an easy call.
Good Joe Powell. You know, you'd also have to give huge props to Joe Hills out in Jacksonville on his season. He's
holding, number 21, defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic, first down.
I don't dispute that. I think Joe Hills has had an amazing year. But Nick Davila, it's a quarterback-driven league.
You see right
healthy
there.
all year.
You got to stay in your back pedal if you're Joe Powell. What are you waiting for? Stay in your back pedal. Stay in your back pedal. He stops, expecting a short route. And then you have to grab.
Benson. Well defended. Joe Fennessy out in space. The much maligned Cleveland defense. Marvin Ross, the rookie out of Florida A&M. I know you love this guy and you think he's a real difference maker.
I do. I think he's probably rookie of the year. He's been outstanding. Missed the game a week ago, but has learned the game, done an outstanding job at 22 pass breakups coming in, 6 interceptions. He's done a really nice job for Cleveland.
Nick gets it to Purify, and Purify has the first down.
Let's quantify that by saying Cleveland only has 10 sacks on the season as a team, so they're not getting any pressure.
I want to go back to Nick and his MVP case. You know, that game against Orlando was the game that everyone was targeting about home field advantage, potentially if they made the interval. He goes 26 of 28, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions.
And he missed his first pass.
Yeah.
Threw the first ball in the dirt, and then from then on, played lights out when it mattered.
Right on time, it's Purify. Can't break the tackle, Ross. Able to hang on.
This is zone, and this is a really good read by Maurice Purify. He has the option to keep going across. He's out here. He's going to settle right down in here in the zone once he sees the coverage. Watch him check it down right there. Great job sitting down in the zone, reading. Quick 5-step drop. He's ready. Steps up on top through the ball. That's a great job protection. See Michael Benson burying the defender coming through.
Nick Davila 4 for 4, 35 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, it's Benson. He's about halfway to the goal line. Benson on the season, 20 rushing touchdowns, 6 receiving touchdowns.
Second down after a gain of 1.
I like going with Benson right here. I'm going to keep feeding the big fella. He's blocking. Anytime you get inside the 5, if you've got that rushing attack, utilize it. You've got 3 guys up front for Cleveland that's young. They want to get after the quarterback, so they're going to be coming ears pinned. I might take a shot on running the ball here.
Davila's going to throw.
That's great coverage.
Got terrific coverage. When Marvin Ross, it was like he was the receiver too. They were running the same route. That was great defense.
Well, he saw enough of that route last week. Donovan Morgan, he didn't see it, but his team saw this route. It's an over route. It's going to go all the way to the back of the end zone and curl back to the front. And not a good job of coming back downhill as he's able to cut Anthony Amos off.
They do not need to run a play. Nick just looked back at the clock. Let's see if they want to get this off. And they do. Windsor's got it. Touchdown, Rattlers.
That's a great play call. This is a play that I probably hit Sia Burley on a couple times. He's offense coordinator. You got double slants with a wheel. And if they cover the wheel or go man-to-man, you can take one of the slants. Whatever comes first. This is a great-looking shot. Great throw. It's going to come right around here. See the? Well, actually, that's like a pick.
Yeah. Well, Purify sets a pretty good pick right there.
He's a big man.
Yeah. Zendejas on for the extra point. Missed the last one. Connects this time. 1 quarter complete in Phoenix. The Arizona Rattlers lead the Cleveland Gladiators 22-7. Don't go anywhere. Second quarter coming up. You're watching the AFL on ESPN. Welcome back to Phoenix. AFL on ESPN. Just about set for the start of the second quarter. Arizona on top 22-7. Or alongside the Hall of Famer Sid Bonner. And Sid, Arvel Nelson at quarterback can get real hot, and he's a special player. The key, though, for Cleveland is their defense needs to find a way to get a stop to give Nelson that chance to get him back in the game.
Well, they're already in the hole now. So right now, it can't get any worse than what's happened. He just made a spectacular play, and he kind of seems to run off of that kind of energy when he's making big plays. You're right about their defense. They got to find a way to put pressure on Nick Davila, but how do you do that when they're spreading the ball around? They've got to find a way to create negative plays for Arizona, and then they'll have a shot to get back in this game.
And the bigger picture question, with Arizona this healthy and playing this well, all right, have they reestablished themselves after last year not getting to the Arena Bowl as the heavy favorite to become 6-time Arena Bowl champions?
With their health right now, absolutely.
Beavers on the return. Unfortunate.
Ball's out.
4-yard line. Ball's out. Ball's out. Arizona football. We're just trying to come up with a formula for Cleveland to get back into this.
Put the ball away. You know you're in traffic. He tries to put it away, but that is ripped out of there by one of the young, talented defensive players in this league, KJ Morton. See the big hit right there, and watch him rip it out. Anthony Amos is able to recover, and you've got to have better ball security, a better sense of timing and where you're at and what's going on. You've already done everything to help Arizona. You've got to hang on to that ball at all costs.
1st and goal. Davila 5 of 6 so far, 37 yards, 2 touchdown passes to Ron Windsor. Davila, look at that pocket. And it's picked off. A rare mistake. And Joe Powell steps up, snares the football.
Yeah, well, he has to step up in the pocket here. Little pressure from that defense. They're running a double move route right here. He's going to go to the back and try to whip back out. But this one gets mucked up early. He steps up and then tries to throw back across. And that is a major mistake from arguably the best player in this league right now. Don't see that happen. Joe Powell, good size, great hands, obviously. Big-time play.
At the end of that play, though, a great tackle made because there was nobody who was going to stop Powell.
No, absolutely not. But you can't move to your right and throw back, and Nick knows that. You can't give this team life and give them a chance.
Nelson, right through the hands of Larry Beavers. That ball right where it was supposed to be.
Listen, you're either going to show up and play or you're not going to play. You got to have guys step up. The defense, the much maligned defense, as we talk about, they just gave you an opportunity. You've got to do something here offensively. Punch it in. That's a great throw. Every catch matters. Every yard matters for you, Cleveland. You've got to force yourself and will yourself to get it done.
Well, keep in mind, just a moment ago, Larry Beavers fumbles the football on the return, and then the drop, he compounds it right there. Nelson, the screen game, and the big fella's got it, and the first down. Tom Silk. Yeah, you got the first down. Let's check on the flag after a gain of 13.
Tackled by Buckner, penalty marker down.
Personal foul, chalk block, number 44, 74, offense. Half the distance to the goal, still second down.
Here's what just happened. So Beavers brings it out. He gets hit hard, ball comes out. Arizona's got first and goal, and this you just don't almost ever see. Davila made a throw he shouldn't make, just his 11th interception of the season. Nelson on second down. That's a little bit behind Devin Wilson.
That's where you see some right-handers miss, throwing to their left. He doesn't get his gate fully open when he makes his throw. So in a sense, he's throwing behind his body or across his body, and watch the ball on the back shoulder. But as I said before, it's crucial right now. Everybody's got to do more than they're supposed to. You've got to find a way to shut this team down, to try to slow Arizona down, take advantage of their mistake they've given you.
Nelson, pump fake, looking for Colin Taylor to catch into Arizona territory.
This is a double move route. Takes a long time, so give that offensive line credit. He's going to run up on his toes, settle, and then go back to the post. Watch the offensive line, give him time to do so. He stands tall in the pocket. Great job, good timing on the throw. And a good read from Arvel and Colin Taylor to be on the same page to go back to the post of that.
29 yards on the play for Taylor. Nelson to Wilson. And the ball comes out. Ball's out. Arizona football.
You've got to be kidding me.
Check on the flag. I think it was after the turnover.
Hey, D, let's go, let's go.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense, Arizona, after the play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 12, Arizona. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. Arizona will keep the ball, first down.
That's a great double look. Great job.
That's
a truck to see that. You got to hear the official and see the call, but that's an easy call.
Easy call. And again, come on, man. Help yourself out. Be better at what you're doing. Arizona just dominating right now.
Night fan, be sure to purchase a 50-50 raffle ticket today. When you do, you'll have the chance to win big money, and you'll also receive a rubber football that you'll be able to toss onto the field in a special halftime promo with a chance to win an autographed football. Visit Guest Relations for prize details. Hey, Night fan, it's free t-shirt time for the best fans in arena football. Come on to the Hot 10 Southern California.
Monday, our International Champions Cup matches continue on ESPN2 at 7:30 a.m. Eastern when the Blues battle the Reds at Beijing's Bird's Nest Stadium in the first derby outside the UK. Great rivalry. Check it out. It's also be available streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. So much great soccer this summer. All right, Arizona football, Nick Davila, 5 of 7, 37 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Catch catches made. Anthony Amos.
That ball a little bit behind, but what did he go and do? He went, stuck his hands back there and made the catch. I have a feeling you'll see a much more focused Arizona team on this drive.
Davila looking downfield for Windsor. He's got the football. Touchdown, Rattlers. Windsor, 3 first-half touchdowns.
This used to be one of Hucky Cooper's favorite routes. Post corner from the short side. You've got to worry about that entire front side over there. That's tough on Marvin Ross. Nick 5 steps and he lets it out just as Rod comes out of his cut. Plenty of room to throw it to, but the way that route works is you got to dive in there and make room for the throw to come out of that corner on the boundary side.
Rod Windsor now with 46 receiving touchdowns this season. Now, we were talking about Joe Hills as a MVP candidate. Fair to say, first team All-Arena at wide receiver, Joe Hills, Rod Windsor?
Absolutely.
That's done?
Absolutely.
Okay. Here it is. Nick Davila finding Rod Windsor, and the Rattlers are rolling in the desert.
For more information, visit the Night Band headquarters tonight outside section 101. Night Band, it's time for Marley's home delivery. Please welcome the Rat Pack as they deliver a tasty treat that can't be beat. Delicious wings from Marley's. You're the winner of free dinner. If you're seated in section 104, row 7, seat 1. Congratulations and enjoy your Marley's wings. Continues after tonight's game at Marley. The Rattlers host game party headquarters. Washington, Marley's is your official Rattlers host game party headquarters.
Major League Baseball, Monday Night Baseball. The Detroit and Boston start a 3-game set. Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers. Big Papi and the Red Sox. 7 Eastern on ESPN, also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Stick around for baseball tonight after the game. Highlights and analysis from the best analysts in the business. Coming up Monday night. All right, here, Cleveland's got themselves in a hole, down 29-7. Arizona 7-0 at home this season. Arizona trying to put themselves in position where Orlando loses at any point from here on out. In the final week of the regular season next week or in the playoffs, the Arizona Rattlers could host Arena Bowl 29 as Beavers is forced out at the 10-yard line. And here are the standings. Now, a couple of the matchups we already know. In the opening round, Arizona will play Portland. We know LA and Cleveland are going to play. We just don't know where. The other side, the American Conference, that Philadelphia at Orlando game looms large, because the loser of that game is going to have to play Jacksonville. And even though Jacksonville's record isn't very good, nobody wants to play them.
Well, they understand what's on that team led by Tommy Grady and all those receivers and Joe Hills, Derek Ross. They just haven't gotten to play.
Devin Wilson and KJ Morton got blocked and still managed to make the tackle.
On the second and 7 at the 14.
What do you think of KJ Morton? The new guy in the back there for me, think he sticks?
Absolutely.
Yep, you like him?
I mean, if he's not gone to another, I mean, this guy's a really good player.
Just 26 years of age. times. All Big 12 at Baylor. Nelson looking down the field, looking for Beavers, and he can't get to it. Arkeith Brown there, step for step.
And, you know, these are the toughest ones when you got a guy wide open. They try to crash with Arkeith, catching him at the line and then running with him. You've got to hit that one somehow. He tries to put some air on it, but maybe lead him towards your bench instead of throwing it up the field. You see him trying to go back upfield for it. Lead him over towards your bench. He's able to extend out even more to go get it.
You surprised that Arvel, and maybe it's the play calling, hasn't tried to get into the run game, because they can do some quarterback keepers where he makes guys miss. Here's a pump fake.
That's the first thing I thought of.
And he goes down sacked for the third time. Burrell gets him. And there is a flag down at the 19-yard line.
Back when they were in the red zone, Ari, I thought that was the first thing that came to my mind. Why not get him involved in the rushing attack? As well as Manley Keith, get him involved also.
Holding, number 11, defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic, first down.
When I watch Arvel Nelson, he looks like a young AFL version of Cam Newton. He can do it all. He just needs more time.
He's strong. He does. He does. And we're going to get Arkeith Brown on the hold. One of these receivers for the Gladiators is going to have to step it up.
Nelson, quick hitter, and on the hot read, Colin Taylor took his eyes off the football. And one thing about Colin Taylor, he rarely makes mistakes. Now, it wasn't a great throw, but you got to make that catch.
Hit both hands. The thing about Colin is he's continued to work at his craft. He's gotten better every year. Yeah, that's a tough ball. That came right out.
Throw.
He's trying to rush it so fast he doesn't even have it. These moments, you've got to really just slow yourself down. Everything out there is moving so fast. You've got to slow yourself down if you're Arvel.
They're not playing fast. They're playing like they're in a hurry. I mean,
right. Slow yourself down.
Yeah, you just got to take a breath. Nelson. He was too quick with two.
Well, he's not too quick. He just misses him. His mechanics are a little off because he's been beat down. Yeah. He's been hit on. He's not getting back early enough. If you got a route where you think you might have to throw it quick, maybe snap it a half a second early so you don't have to rush. But he's back. When you backpedal like that, you don't put yourself in a position to stop immediately and throw on target in rhythm. The old Dan Feltz backpedal. Aaron Garcia was great at doing it, but I tell you what, you don't put yourself in a optimal position to push and throw.
Nelson loses the football, picked up. It's the Rattlers again. The defense, touchdown Rattlers. Dan Buckner, 22-yard return.
And ball security. It's third down, not fourth, so you still got a chance. But what did Coach Guy ask for?
Back picked up by the defense, return for a touchdown.
Be relentless.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 12, Arizona. That penalty will be enforced on the first play after the kickoff. Try for point.
Well, if the penalty's on Buckner for unnecessary roughness, how's that possible?
Who did he rough? The back wall back there? Definitely not 12. He just scooped and scored. He scored a touchdown. I don't know how he roughed anybody. Maybe he roughed the ball up.
He might have roughed up some of Cleveland's feelings, but that's about it. He didn't touch anybody. So that's 4 stops for Arizona here in the first half.
I struggle with the word stop when you're giving the ball away. I mean, you're giving the ball away. These are turnovers in critical time, and they're just kind of disoriented. And again, you look at Quentin Sims, not in the lineup, his go-to guy, 92 receptions, over 1,000 yards, 27 TDs. Obviously a big deal.
Zendejas. And he pulls that one to the left. Arizona getting points for every different part of the team. Buckner gets a touchdown, a nice little celebration.
Stop by the team shop, the place to shop for the latest and greatest in Rattlers merchandise. Nightman, time for Scratcher's Delivery from the Arizona Lottery. If you'd like a free ticket, stand up now and some noise. Section 120. Celebrate 35 years of giving from the Arizona Lottery. Play for second chance prizes of all 35 anniversary tickets. Get more info at easylottery.com.
Arizona with the big lead, and Cleveland has helped them in a big way. There's a turnover. Here's another turnover. Tell him there with the recovery. Another turnover. This turns in to a touchdown. And now let's go back to the opening play from scrimmage. It's a safety. So Arizona's touchdowns, 3 on offense, 1 on defense, 1 on special teams, then another 2 points from the defense on the safety.
I mean, it's crazy how little Arizona's offense has been on the field.
Remember, Ron Selesky talked about wanting them to have at least 50 plays on offense. They're not even going to come close to that.
They're not going to get it.
You'd be lucky if they get to 40. Larry Beavers. Miss, and Amos with the tackle. Now, one thing to consider, Cleveland last week loses in LA in heartbreaking fashion. Then they stay on the West Coast. This turned into an 11-day trip for them. That's a long trip to be on this late in the season. What do you think of that decision? I mean, with today, flying's not that big a deal. I mean, get nonstop flights.
Well, I mean, if it's cheaper to stay here, I mean, you just stay and I don't know, help galvanize your relationship with your teammates. If guys are around each other all the time, you kind of form those bonds. It's a work trip. It is hard on them, but that's how you galvanize a team.
Nelson finds Beavers, gets a block, and Beavers out of bounds at the Arizona 20.
Yeah, he's standing in that pocket. Tell you what, the pass rushers for Arizona. They got Lou Vasquez back this week.
The one thing we talked about Nelson's ability to run the football, and that would slow the pass rush down. Nelson leads the team. He's got 212 rushing yards on the season. And there he gets it out to Beavers. Beavers forced out at 15.
Hasn't used his leg much, unless he's had to scramble away from the pocket. And they do have quarterback runs in the offense for him. I just don't feel like they want to get him banged up or beat up heading into the playoffs. That's the only thing I can think of why they're not doing it.
It would certainly slow down that pass rush. They've been coming after Nelson since the first play. Buckner there. Buckner played his college ball at the University of Arizona over in Tucson. His length and his size really makes it challenging on quarterbacks. Just that wingspan at the jack linebacker, it's impressive at his size.
It really is. You're couple that with a defensive lineman that's all their entire defensive front is savvy and smart. They know if they're not getting there, they're getting hands up. So you're trying to throw a ball between basically 10 hands, makes it tough to complete passes.
Cleveland just inside the Geico Blue Zone. Pass is incomplete. Nelson was under duress. Tyree Glassberg. You know, Glassberg, when you look at the numbers, last year a team record, 11.5 sacks, first team All-Arena. This year just 2 sacks, but just in this game, he looks like Tyree Glassberg is healthy, he's engaged, and ready for the postseason.
And he's also had about 4 or 5 games now to play with Demetrio Tyson at the nose. And you know how special that relationship with him and Antosh Hawthorne was. It makes a difference when you know your guy you're working with on the interior.
Well, they're hopeful that Hawthorne will be available at some point in the postseason, and they've got found quite a find with Tyson. Nelson, perfect throw, Taylor the catch, touchdown Cleveland.
15 yards for a Cleveland touchdown.
Right here, just a simple fade route right over the top. Looks like they're trying to take shots at Keith Brown, but a great throw and catch.
That's a gutsy 4th down play call.
I mean, you got to go to your playmakers, and they got to make plays. And right there, Colin Taylor shows you why he's one of the top guys in the league.
Trevino's extra point is good.
Extra point by Trevino is good.
Cleveland slices 7 points off the deficit. Now 35-14. Taylor was where he needed to be, but I was very impressed by this throw.
Great throw. And you hope he's starting to settle in, and we talked about it. Where else can it go from here? Can it get any worse than what's happened to them so far? And the answer is probably no. They've played about as bad and made about as many mistakes as you can make. However, right now you've got to build for momentum going towards the playoffs, trying to get ready and get in sync.
Cleveland. There's Quentin Sims. Nick Davila. Rod Windsor. Ball comes out. Benson, a 15-point win for Arizona back on June 2nd.
It was a back-and-forth game until turnovers. And what's cost him tonight? Turnovers have cost him tonight. And you can live with a safety at the beginning of the game and try and recover. You can make that recovery, but, man.
Onside here?
Yes, I would. I need possessions. I mean, what are you going to wait for?
They've been pretty good. 4 of 20 on onside this season.
They got back in the LA game last week with the onsides. I mean, Trevino has been awesome with the onside kicks. They got some good size.
And he kicks it deep. So far tonight, Nick Davila.
Ball hit the Casino Arizona sign by
Rod Windsor. That was their first play from scrimmage. 3 times tonight, Davila has found Rod Windsor. Rod Windsor, all-time leader in Arizona history in receptions. Here you see the numbers for Nick Davila. Last week only had 2 incompletions.
I think
26 for 28.
What makes those two guys special is he's able to do it from motion as well as standstill. Same with Maurice Purify. Those guys are dangerous receivers in any aspect of the game.
Screen game, and it's Benson.
Good job.
Yeah, that's a nice play there.
The Ocean did a nice job reading it out. Stayed with his man.
Now we're come to the 1-minute warning. We step away. Cleveland looking for a stop at points before halftime.
Food Sports Grill. Congratulations, you just won a free one-year gold membership from EO Fitness.
Thank you very much, Doug. We'll look forward to hearing from him at the half. He had a crazy finish in Tampa last night. Blocked field goal at the end of the game. Leave the rest in suspense. We'll let Doug tell you about it, but it was wild. Arizona wants to take as much time off this clock and score with just seconds remaining in the half. Amos makes the catch. Ross the tackle.
That's why I was surprised there wasn't an onside kick. You don't want them to be able to burn it out on you. You want to get some more possessions.
And Cleveland only has one timeout. That's why I thought for sure they'd go onside there.
Anytime you do that, you want to try and get a ball off the bar. When you kick it deep, you're expecting Arizona to not be prepared for it.
Davila the throw, Amos the catch, terrific catch.
It's a tough catch. He has to go back up, and again, Nick throwing to his right side. He's got to get his hips a little more clear so he can get that ball out in front of the eyeballs. But talk about want to. Amos goes up and reaches back and gets it.
Coming up at the half, first half recap, stats, and analysis. That'll all come up after Doug Kazarian. Be back in Bristol. Get you caught up on the day in sports when we get back here. Sid will break down the first half. We'll probably also talk a little big picture. Week 18 coming up next week, and then on to the postseason, where Arizona won 3 of the last 4 titles. Will certainly be one of the favorites to make it to Arena Bowl 29, and they will have home field at least through the National Conference title game. 13 seconds. Do you try to score here, or do you wait for one more play?
I wait.
Davila throws. And
I think that's a situation where in that down and distance, you want to possibly even use the running game. Run a little more clock. Then you've got a couple downs to go and try to score.
There's the QB comparison.
Well, what you don't see is the fumble from Arvel Nelson that led to the touchdown.
And really, it was a very bad play on the opening play where the little shuffle pass was off, which resulted in 2 points, and the safety so damaging in the indoor game. Davila, time, throws it, caught, Windsor, touchdown Arizona.
This is beautiful job up front. Watch the guys, the bigs. Hayworth Hicks, Michael Simon, Jordan Mudge, and Michael Benson. Look at that. He's able to just creep around and move around the pocket. No pressure. You got a deep whip route or bow route. Windsor comes back out of it wide open. Everybody knows he's going to do it. You just can't stop it.
Fourth time tonight, Windsor gets over into the end zone. Rod Windsor still getting it done at 31 years of age. Both him and Davila, both 31. These guys stay healthy. How long can this run of the Rattlers go on?
They're still going, man. They're babies. They can keep it moving. With the preparation they do in the offseason.
Want access to every AFL game at once? Go to arenafootball.com and click AFL Live for an online broadcast of games around the league via the ESPN3 video player. Or if you're on the go, download the Watch ESPN app to your mobile device and keep up with AFL action as it happens. Next weekend, that Orlando game where they host Philadelphia, that is the game. Going to determine who wins that conference, and if Orlando wins, they would be the top overall seed going into the playoffs. If Philadelphia wins, Arizona would be the top overall seed. Nick Davila, Rod Windsor.
And you can't talk about it enough how special they are. The corner route, the wheel route. I mean, they just know each other so well. The corner route from the backside, got to get that ball out early, and he does. And then the bow route down in the red zone is a staple for these guys down in the red zone. It's tough to cover.
They've got a lot of football in their future, but there's a part of me that is already thinking down the road, I really hope they're in the same Hall of Fame class. It seems like they have to go in together.
They should be.
Yep.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I got to go in with Randy Gateway. So,
yep.
I mean, it was awesome.
Beavers got a block. Out of bounds. 3.4 seconds remain. 19 yards on the return. All right, what do you like here? Because we've seen plays, we saw it in Jacksonville, where you don't throw it to the end zone. You set it up, you get some blocking downfield, and let that guy cut across the field.
Well, that's either a block dig where you run a lateral route with someone. You're going to see the DBs from Arizona. They're not going to play. They're going to play off, but they're going to be close enough where they're not going to allow someone to get up into them and block them. But it looks like they're setting up for it right now. You're going to get two over routes, crosses, and one lateral route, and the receiver's going to go down and block for the short side guy coming across.
Nelson steps up. And the half ends on another sack. That's 4 first half sacks for the Rattlers.
And Arizona played man-to-man there. They didn't drop into a cover 3. They stayed man-to-man, knowing it's going to take a long time to get there to run that route.
Arizona came in with 24 sacks. 4 more, 28. We've still got 30 minutes left of football as Arizona dominates in every phase of the game. And this is a team that's looking ready for the postseason to begin. Keep in mind, they're off next week, so this is our final game before the postseason. Let's bring in Arizona head coach Kevin Guy. And Kevin, I know for your team it's all about peaking at the right time of year, and your team in all 3 phases of the game played well. What'd you like the most?
Well, I thought our defense came out and set the tone tonight. You know, offensively we've been real efficient except for that one turnover. But when you come to Arizona, you don't come here to get a participation trophy. You come here to play for the real deal and take a trip to the White House.
KG, you asked for relentless pressure from your defense. How excited are you to have those guys getting after Arvel Nelson the way they are right now?
Well, you know, the coaching staff's been riding them. So, you know, I think they're responding. Again, back to our culture, our environment here. Our guys buy in here. So we got a good group of guys. I've liked them since training camp.
Thank you very much, Kevin Guy. Appreciate it. He did tell us at length he loves his team, and he loves the way they played in the first half.
15 yards for a Cleveland touchdown. Good luck and
the speed business has to keep up with us, and until technology entered the marketplace, and yesterday's solutions became tomorrow's problems. Problems that are solved with cloud-based document management, multi-function systems, and 3D printing. It's times like these when business looks for an ally. That ally is all copy products. One who possesses the tools and expertise to not only recognize the changing speed of business, but seize it. It's a brand new day.
skills. For my blackjack to be more fun. And video that turns up the volume on winning. Casino Arizona with locals rule.
Night band for your halftime entertainment. Please welcome to the field, Zuma Gerald Pickman.
Hello, hello. Oh, I thought I was just doing the dummy segment. It's all together in one. I got it. I got you. Yeah, said you're in. It's said you're in.
I'm not in. Well, my shiny dome. Should have put some makeup on it.
I'm going to give you 90 seconds of my best. I'm going to talk for about... Welcome back to Phoenix, AFL on ESPN. The Rattlers looking in championship form, leading 42-14. Arvel alongside the Hall of Famer, Sid Bonner. Sid, you are part of a lot of success here. This new generation of Arizona Stars has seen a lot of success. Is this team right now playing its best football of the season?
I think so, and that's what they want. They want to be peaking at the right time, heading into the playoffs, making all the right moves, and Coach Guy seems to be pushing all the right buttons right now.
He does, and Cleveland has not done themselves any favors. Cleveland, all kinds of first half mistakes.
And sometimes you get this from a young team that's exciting. They tend to make mistakes. Larry Beavers with the fumble right there. Arizona has just ripped at the ball, pulling it out. I mean, these guys have been dominant on defense. Another fumble for a scoop and score by Buckner. And that's what he wanted, relentless pressure, and their defense is giving it to him right now.
And they've taken Arvel Nelson out of his comfort zone. From the opening play, Arvel Nelson has been uncomfortable, and he hasn't been able to get out of the pocket. He was sacked 4 times in the first half. So Arizona's defense clicking on all cylinders. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the start of the third quarter as Arizona looks to stay perfect at home.
Get Arena Football on ESPN this season. Visit arenafootball.com for the complete National Game of the Week schedule. Don't miss a minute of the action. The AFL would like to thank Spalding for its partnership. Spalding, the official football supplier of the Arena Football League. Be sure to check out arenafootball.com for all the latest news and information on your Arizona Rattlers and the Arena Football League. While you're there, be sure to visit the AFL Team Fan Shop for the latest AFL gear. Check out arenafootball.com tonight. Have you ever wanted to be a part of your 5-time world champion Arizona Rattlers? Well, now is your chance. The Rattlers are holding an open tryout July 30th at their facility at Gene Autry Park in Mesa.
Welcome back. Getting set for the start of the third quarter. Arizona dominant on the scoreboard. We'll take a look at first half stats. Sid can tell us if the stats agree.
I do agree. I mean, the sacks are killing it. That's the biggest thing. And the turnovers, 3 turnovers. Everything else is okay, but that's enough. 4 sacks, 3 turnovers. You're not going to win very many games, much less a half, doing that.
4 sacks, I mean.
In a half.
In a half?
In a half.
Crazy.
And they've been all over right there. Demetrio Tyson starts it off. Burrell able to bring him down. And Tyree Glassberg chasing him down from the backside. Relentless pressure. Damian Burrell again. And these guys have been all over Arvel Nelson. And we're not talking about just a regular player. We're talking about a physical specimen that can move, get away from sacks, make plays under duress. And they have bottled him up outside the one play that he broke free and threw a touchdown pass.
There is Arvel Nelson. And don't judge him by the first half alone. We've seen enough of this young man to know that he's special. And we're going to learn about what kind of toughness he's got, particularly mentally, and how he responds in the second half.
And not only him, but his entire team moving forward. They're going to have to play this Arizona team again if they get a win in the first round of playoffs. They need to come out right now, show that they can move the ball, make plays. It's not necessarily about winning the game right now, but you've got to be positive, and you got to try and win the second half.
Well, they want to have some positive vibe. They have the bye week in week 18. The next game they're going to play is going to be a postseason game. So they have to get this right. Even if it, like you said, it doesn't mean winning. They got to build confidence, get themselves ready for the postseason.
Well, from the looks of it, they're going to have to come back across the country because they've lost to LA twice. They're going to have to come all the way back across the country to play LA.
Amos has one kickoff return for a touchdown tonight, but not this time. Well defended, brought down at the 5. 10 yards on the return. Nick Davila in the first half, very efficient. 11 of 14, 130 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 decision we just don't see him make.
No,
play was done. He tried to force the ball in there, threw across the field. It didn't work out.
And that's what he would tell you the exact same thing. And that's what I love about this guy. He is the most stand-up guy you'll ever find.
He's a pro.
He is a
he doesn't want you to baby
pro.
him. And look at all those rings. You got a few of those.
The small ones on the left side.
First and 10. Davila to Amos. And Ross the tackle right at the sticks. You know, we talk so much about Windsor and Purify. Amos, 4 catches, 70 yards. He's been a nice contribution.
He has, and he's a guy that if he can just continue to keep it rolling. When you give him man-to-man coverage, if you don't want to go with the big guys, you've got somebody that can run. Cy Burley has nothing but positive things to say about this young man and how he works and how good he can be.
Davila looking for Purify. He's got it. And Ross makes the tackle. 13 yards on the play for Mo Purify. Purify was Arena Bowl 25 Offensive Player of the Game. He had 7 receiving touchdowns. And we asked Kevin Guy how Mo Purify has been different. He just said, he's more mature. He's a little quieter. But he's been a pro and he's making good decisions.
And he's been a pro. And what's the one thing that we've said about every one of these guys? They've been a pro. Nick, Rod, they're a pro.
Davila up over the top. It's Purify. Touchdown Rattlers.
He had his choice. He has his choice on this one. They're going to send Amos through to the post. And that leaves this man right here on a trail to the corner route. Great lean and dive in by Mo P to get on top of his man and lean down and force him inside even more. Ball on perfect spot. Great timing on that throw.
Mo Purify spent 2 seasons on the practice squad of the Cincinnati Bengals. Extra point is missed. That's the 3rd miss of the game by Zendejas. Nick Davila, look at that smile. He enjoyed that throw. Showing off the belt.
Visit our website to find a location closest to you and experience their philosophy of health and motion for yourself. All right, that's been time for Brian Lynn. Dental Smile Jam. Don't trip us, Rattlers. Smile is usually featured on Brand TV. And right now, the best smile is the free teeth whitening from Lydian Dental. from Lydian Dental, the official dentist of your Arizona Rattlers.
AFL on ESPN. The 12-3 Arizona Rattlers lead the 7-8 Cleveland Gladiators 48-14. I know that we came in thinking that Arizona could. They're big favorites at home, but we didn't expect this.
We totally didn't expect this. I expected Cleveland to come in and play a little tougher. Arizona has completely taken it to them.
Great job there by Zendejas. Hits off the crossbar and out of play. Monday, two super sluggers leading their teams when Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers start a 3-game series against Big Papi and the Red Sox. 7-8 on ESPN. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Stick around after the game for baseball tonight with all the highlights and analysis. That's Monday night. Tigers and Red Sox. And I feel like if you love Big Papi, you better watch him every time you can, because this is it. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy play this well in his final year.
And consistent. Like, I don't know why he's going to stop.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of like Donovan Morgan scoring 4 touchdowns last week and saying, I'm going to retire after this year. What? Why?
Well, go out on top.
To go out on top, you got to win a championship.
Okay, well, Big Papi's got a shot.
He does have a shot.
Still baseball to be played.
And I guess Donovan Morgan does as well. There's still a lot of football to be played.
He's a Yankee believer right there. Nelson gets it to Beavers. He needed his whole 6'5" frame to get that
got up on top.
Yes.
Got up on top to make that throw. There was a lot of pressure. Watch the power and quickness. Right there, Tyson goes in with. And he just stands tall and delivers. Right now, Coach Tons is trying to get some kind of rhythm for this offense.
Nelson throws that one away.
And that's a good decision. I feel like he
missed.
missed.
Intentional grounding. The quarterback was out of the pocket, and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
I feel like he missed his first read. He misses his first read. You got to sit down right in the middle of the field. And he misses it right there. You got to stick the ball on him, and he's already off. That's one of those young things. You get fooled by coverage somehow, but you got to stick the ball right on your guy. 9 times out of 10, if you stay with the motion guy, he'll tell you where the ball needs to go.
Nelson looking for Wilson. And it's incomplete. Jeremy Kellum, outstanding coverage. And Jeremy Kellum last year, first team All-Arena.
You gotta really do a better job of driving Jeremy Kellum upfield. If you're Devin Wilson, you've got to attack him, push him upfield, snap it off across his face.
Since Kellum's only in his 7th game, you can only judge him by what he's done per game. He's number 1 in the AFL in tackles per game at 8.3. Birds down Larry Beavers. They get it on 4th and short. Beavers shows off the quickness.
That's a great play call right there. Using the running game. Beavers comes in flat motion, and you just outflank the defense. Watch how quick he's on the edge before Buckner even has a chance to react to it.
Stevie Tunn's been calling plays in the AFL since the late 90s. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve. But there, fumbled center quarterback exchange. Nelson pounces on the football. And I love having you here for these replays to know who's at fault here.
I'm always going to take blame. It's always the quarterback's fault. I'll never blame my center. They're in there in a different type of battle. And you'll see right here, it hits his hands, hits both hands. That's on us. That's on the QB there. Now, if they just roll it back to your feet on the ground, I can't take that.
Nelson to Wilson. Good job. Gets all the way to the 2-yard line. Would be 1st and goal. 12 yards on the play, Devin Wilson.
It's a good little drive Cleveland's got going on. They've been patient. He's made some good throws, stood in there in some pressure. And this is what you want to see. You want the rest of the game out if you're Cleveland. This is what you want to see, execution of offense.
And Nelson trying to fight his way in, and little Jeremy Kellum. At one point, it was just the two of them, and Kellum was able to hold on. I mean, Kellum, not even 200 pounds.
Yeah, but Jeremy Kellum is strong. Very strong. And right there, they always tell you get slowed up right there by Luis Vasquez. And they always tell you when you're running pitch or sweep, any outside plays, you cut back, you're on your own. And you saw right there, he was on his own.
Nelson, the throw a little bit too high. Al Phillips had pretty good coverage.
Numbers number 14, Al Phillips.
Really
We've only mentioned the name of Arkeith Brown one time tonight. And I'll tell you this about number 11. Over the years, he really has been consistent every single season. And he hasn't been all arena since the 2013 season, but it seems like other guys have had injuries, guys have come in and out, but Arkeith Brown seems to always be on the field.
He works really hard and had to battle this year through a couple injuries, but is that go-to guy.
And a fun fact, Arkeith Brown, every game that he's had an interception, you total them up, they're 13-0.
That is a fun fact.
It is. So he gets a pick in the first quarter, and they can just say, all right, we're good.
It's over. Just mail it in.
Arkeith Brown, 30 years of age, played at Texas A&M. Defensive player of the game in Arena Bowl 25. He's going to cover the motion man here. Fourth down, Cleveland 3 for 4 on fourth down. Nelson got all day, looking, throws it up, knocked away, Arkeith Brown. Now check that, it was Al Phillips.
I keep wanting to call Hunky Cooper when I see that number. But this is, listen, you're one of the best athletes on the field. Take off, go get yourself some points. But Al Phillips says, no way, man. Not in my house, we're shutting it down.
6 stops for the Rattlers. You can see by the look on Arvel Nelson's face, it has been a frustrating evening.
It has, but I would love to see him use his legs a little bit more.
Davila gets it to Amos, and Amos makes a lot out of a little there. 15 yards.
Talk about synchronized defense. Watch Arizona on this play. You've got 3-3 locked up outside here. 1, 2, 3 DBs. You're not rushing your linebacker. You got a 3-man rush. You got a player there, extra player there, and coverage across the board. And this is where I think if you're Arvel Nelson, if there's softness, you got to go attack it with your length and athleticism with your legs. Great coverage there by Arizona.
Set up the screen, and Benson is undercut. Terrific job, DeMarcus Robinson. 7-year vet comes up to make the play.
And this is on Anthony Amos here. He's got to get his man out of there. Watch. Run your guy out. Don't sit there and try to block him. Run him out of there. And he just kind of runs the wrong way, runs right into the play. That could have been a serious knee injury there for Benson. You got to understand the plays that are coming behind you and get your man out of there and clear.
Davila now 16 of 19, 189 yards and 5 touchdowns. Davila throws. Hard to throw it that much over the head of the 6'4 Maurice Purified, but that's what happened.
He dropped that elbow. His front shoulder was up to start. Comes through, it drops your elbow and your backside back, and the ball just sails. But he was just making a fan.
Make a fan stand, yeah. Arizona has only had 1 third down, 1 for 1. That tells you how much Cleveland is struggling to slow down Arizona. What a catch!
Oh my gosh!
What a use of hands, Anthony Amos.
And what have we not seen from the other side? The tough catch, the tough play. We've seen Anthony Amos make it a bunch of times tonight. This ball's low, and he sticks the paws out there and goes and gets it. Nobody's going to take a shot. D-Rob puts a good shot on him on the backside, but that's a great catch. And we've seen that 3 times tonight from him.
Arizona on the season now, 2 for 2 tonight. They're almost 60% on the season on third down. The give is to Benson and Cleveland not fooled.
Let's go!
Keeping them honest with your Arizona.
Calling in on the play. The old 96, Randy Calling.
Really no rush if you're Arizona. You're in control of everything that's happening, but you still want to move fast enough to continue executing.
But it does appear that was a loss of even if it was just inches, which would give Calling 7 tackles for a loss this season.
You know what? He's been outstanding from the nose spot. Doesn't have the sacks to show it, but he's played hard and done a good job.
Davila, the rush was bearing down, and Fennessy almost had a pick. I tell you, Nick Davila took a big hit, which brings me to the question I have to always ask. You said, when does Nick come out of the game? When does he come out? You've got this game sewn up. When does he come out?
If you're Coach Guy, you see many more of these kind of shots right here. You're going to watch Nick Seether come around the edge. That's a great move. He gets into him and drives him in the ground, and that'd
be his last play if I was Kevin Guy.
Well, he's going to probably let him finish this drive and see how it goes from there, and then he'll make a decision after that.
I'm sure that Nick wants to stay in the game, but he's your franchise quarterback, and they got a bye week next week. Davila gets it to Benson. That's a way to slow down the pass rush.
Capital's pass complete to Benson. Tackle like Yoshia.
That's how you slow that pass rush down, take care of your quarterback. But see there, watch it drive into the turf right there. That's a really good move by Nick Seether, who doesn't play a whole lot.
No.
But you see the good hand slap and the good movement.
4th down for the Rattlers on the season. 17 of 31 on 4th down.
It's pretty good.
Yes. Davila, pump fake, has time, comes back, has his man, and it's Ron Windsor, and it'll be 1st and goal.
That's just knowing where your guys are. You see he just flashes back, immediately turns, knows where the check down is, and that's a route where you make sure you go at least 4 or 5 yards past the sticks. You don't even stop until you see Nick start to turn. Everything he wants is on this side of the field. He wants that, but then he turns and throws a comeback. See him open his hips, get back to it. Really good job. And then to protect it, because that took a while, great job by the big guys up front.
And this year they brought in new offensive line. Boy, they have clicked from the opening week. Nick Davila, lots of time. Completes it. It's Mo Purify. First down, Rattlers.
Nick not thought of a guy that's going to move out of the pocket, but he's going to slide to his left. He's not going to run. Gets it out of his hand at the nick of time, and good read right there. Maurice Purify comes back inside. I mean, look at that throw. That's a spectacular throw. Move it to your left on the move.
Well, that laser, he's just next level.
He's pretty dang good, man. He's pretty good.
This is the end of the third quarter. However,
Third quarter is complete, but they will kick the extra point before we take a break.
I'm going to answer your question. Sit him down right now.
Yes. Night's over. Nick Davila this quarter, 9 of 11, 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think Kevin Guy's seen enough. 3 quarters complete in the desert, and Nick Davila carving up that Cleveland defense. We're coming back with the fourth quarter. You're watching the AFL on ESPN. Want access to every AFL game at once? Go to arenafootball.com and click AFL Live for an online broadcast of games around the league via the ESPN3 video player. Or if you're on the go, download the Watch ESPN app to your mobile device and keep up with AFL action as it happens. Little guys having fun. Joe Powell instead of Larry Beavers, and he will not get a chance at a return. And we will step away for a moment. Nick Davila, his last touchdown pass, and it may be his final throw of the night. He makes it count, his 6th touchdown pass of the game.
Official timeout brought to you by Discount Foundation of East Valley. Thanks for enjoying every Rattlers home game. We honor those who serve and protect our great country with the Howard Air Seats for Soldiers program. Please join the Arizona Rattlers in welcoming for the regular season finale, all active and retired United States military personnel. We thank you for all that you do for our great country, and thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Arizona with the big lead, and this franchise has been great for a long time. And the guy sitting to my right, Sid Bonner, was a part of getting this franchise going. And there is 13, the lefty. Calvin checks it in. Look at the young Sid Bonner. And here's the defense is getting it done.
Hunky Cooper, Randy Gatewood in the shot.
You guys were the original Three Amigos, and now they're the modern-day Three Amigos. Mo Purify, Rod Windsor, and Nick Davila.
I think what makes it special is to get a core group of guys that you keep together. You keep them together, that's how you become special, and these guys have gone way beyond special with what they've been able to do here.
See those 3 titles in a row, and they lost in 2011 on the final play, and in 2015 they were a play away from getting to their 5th straight Arena Bowl. Arvel Nelson, he throws that one into the 3rd row. Nick Davila, where he's going to go down amongst the great quarterbacks in AFL history, that's still yet to be determined. But if he stopped today, he's already in the conversation.
Oh, without a doubt. Nobody's done this. Nobody's done that. And the stuff he's done has separated him from a lot of guys. And I don't even put him past me. I mean, this guy's been so consistent, so good that...
But let's not forget Jay Gruden.
Outstanding.
Now, Jay Gruden played on great complete teams, but he won 4 titles.
He did. I'm not forgetting about Jay. I'm just...
Well, you said nobody done that. You circled 3, and Jay's got 4.
3 straight.
Okay. Well, it didn't say straight on there.
Well,
so I wanted to make sure we were clear.
Field is an incomplete forward pass. 3rd down.
Let's also look at the numbers he's put up, the wins, losses.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even close.
Not even close. I agree.
Probably going to be the fastest to every landmark in the history of this game. Not even.
Hello, hello. Oh, I thought I was just doing the dummy segment. It's all together in one. I got it. I got you. Yeah, said you're in. It's said you're in.
I'm not in. My shiny dome. Should have put some makeup on.
I'm going to give you 90 seconds of my best. I'm going to talk for about... Welcome back to Phoenix, AFL on ESPN. The Rattlers looking in championship form, leading 42-14. Our Wolf alongside the Hall of Famer, Sid Bonner. Sid, you were part of a lot of success here. This new generation of Arizona Stars has seen a lot of success. Is this team right now playing its best football of the season?
I think so, and that's what they want. They want to be peaking at the right time, heading into the playoffs, making all the right moves, and Coach Guy seems to be pushing all the right buttons right now.
He does, and Cleveland has not done themselves any favors. Cleveland, all kinds of first half mistakes.
And sometimes you get this from a young team that's exciting. They tend to make mistakes. Larry Beavers with the fumble right there. Arizona has just ripped at the ball, pulling it out. I mean, these guys have been dominant on defense. Another fumble for a scoop and score by Buckner. And that's what he wanted, relentless pressure, and their defense is giving it to him right now.
And they've taken Arvel Nelson out of his comfort zone. From the opening play, Arvel Nelson has been uncomfortable, and he hasn't been able to get out of the pocket. He was sacked 4 times in the first half. So Arizona's defense clicking on all cylinders. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the start of the third quarter as Arizona looks to stay perfect at home.
Get Arena Football on ESPN this season. Visit arenafootball.com for the complete National Game of the Week schedule. Don't miss a minute of the action. The AFL would like to thank Spalding for its partnership. Spalding, the official football supplier of the Arena Football League. Be sure to check out arenafootball.com for all the latest news and information on your Arizona Rattlers and the Arena Football League. While you're there, be sure to visit the AFL Team Fan Shop for the latest AFL gear. Check out arenafootball.com tonight. Have you ever wanted to be a part of your 5-time world champion Arizona Rattlers? Well, now is your chance. The Rattlers are holding an open tryout July 30th at their facility at Gene Autry Park in Mesa.
Welcome back. Getting set for the start of the third quarter. Arizona dominant on the scoreboard. We'll take a look at first half stats. Ted can tell us if the stats agree.
I do agree. I mean, the sacks are killing it. That's the biggest thing. And the turnovers, 3 turnovers. Everything else is okay, but that's enough. 4 sacks, 3 turnovers. You're not going to win very many games, much less a half doing that.
4 sacks, I mean.
In a half.
In a half?
In a half.
Crazy.
And they've been all over right there. Demetrio Tyson starts it off. Burrell able to bring him down. And Tyree Glassberg chasing him down from the backside. Relentless pressure. Damian Burrell again. And these guys have been all over Arvel Nelson. And we're not talking about just a regular player. We're talking about a physical specimen that can move, get away from sacks, make plays under duress. And they have bottled him up outside the one play that he broke free and threw a touchdown pass.
There is Arvel Nelson. And don't judge him by the first half alone. We've seen enough of this young man to know that he's special. And we're going to learn about what kind of toughness he's got, particularly mentally, and how he responds in the second half.
And not only him, but his entire team moving forward. They're going to have to play this Arizona team again if they get a win in the first round of playoffs. They need to come out right now, show that they can move the ball, make plays. It's not necessarily about winning the game right now, but you've got to be positive, and you got to try and win the second half.
Well, they want to have some positive vibe. They have the bye week in week 18. The next game they're going to play is going to be a postseason game. So they have to get this right. Even if it, like you said, it doesn't mean winning. they got to build confidence, get themselves ready for the postseason.
Well, from the looks of it, they're going to have to come back across the country because they've lost to LA twice. They're going to have to come all the way back across the country to play LA.
Amos has one kickoff return for a touchdown tonight, but not this time. Well defended, brought down at the 5. 10 yards on the return. Nick Davila in the first half, very efficient. 11 of 14, 130 yards, 4 touchdowns to 1. Decision, we just don't see him make.
No,
play was done. He tried to force the ball in there, threw across the field. It didn't work out.
And that's what he would tell you the exact same thing. And that's what I love about this guy. He is the most stand-up guy you'll ever find.
He's a pro.
He is a
he doesn't want you to baby him. And look at all those rings. You got a few of those.
The small ones on the left side.
First and 10. Davila to Amos. And Ross the tackle right at the sticks. You know, we talk so much about Windsor and Purify. Amos, 4 catches, 70 yards. He's made a nice contribution.
He has, and he's a guy that if he can just continue to keep it rolling. When you give him man-to-man coverage, if you don't want to go with the big guys, you've got somebody that can run. Cy Burley has nothing but positive things to say about this young man and how he works and how good he can be.
Davila looking for Purify. He's got it. And Ross makes the tackle. 13 yards on the play for Mo Purify. Purify was Arena Bowl 25 Offensive Player of the Game. He had 7 receiving touchdowns. And we asked Kevin Guy how Mo Purify has been different. He just said, he's more mature. He's a little quieter. But he's been a pro and he's making good decisions.
And he's been a pro. And what's the one thing that we've said about every one of these guys? They've been a pro. Nick, Rod, they're a pro.
Davila up over the top. It's Purify. Touchdown Rattlers.
He had his choice. He has his choice on this one. They're going to send Amos through to the post. And that leaves this man right here on a trail to the corner route. Great lean and dive in by Mo P to get on top of his man and lean down and force him inside even more. Ball on perfect spot. Great timing on that throw.
Mo Purify spent 2 seasons on the practice squad of Cincinnati Bengals. Extra point is missed. That's the 3rd miss of the game by Zendeja. Nick Davila, look at that smile. He enjoyed that throw. Showing off the belt.
Visit their website to find a location closest to you and experience their philosophy of health and motion for yourself. All right, time to join Gladiators Dental Smile Jam. Don't trip us, Rattlers. Smile is usually featured on Rack TV. And right now, the best smile is the free teeth whitening from Gladiators. Congratulations, you just sort of free teeth whitening from Lydian Dental, the official dentist of your Arizona Rattlers.
AFL on ESPN. The 12-3 Arizona Rattlers lead the 7-8 Cleveland Gladiators 48-14. I know that we came in thinking that Arizona they're big favorites at home, but we didn't expect this.
We totally didn't expect this. I expected Cleveland to come in and play a little tougher. Arizona has completely taken it to them.
Great job there by Zendejas. Hits off the crossbar and out of play. Monday, two super sluggers leading their teams when Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers start a 3-game series against Big Papi and the Red Sox. 7-8 on ESPN. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Stick around after the game for baseball tonight with all the highlights and analysis. That's Monday night. Tigers and Red Sox. And I feel like if you love Big Papi, you better watch him every time you can, because this is it. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy play this well in his final year.
And consistent. Like, I don't know why he's going to stop.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of like Donovan Morgan scoring 4 touchdowns last week and saying, I'm going to retire after this year. What? Why?
Well, go out on top.
To go out on top, you got to win a championship.
Okay, well, Big Papi's got a shot.
He does have a shot.
Still baseball to be played.
And I guess Donovan Morgan does as well. There's still a lot of football to be played.
There's a Yankee believer right there. Nelson gets it to Beavers. He needed his whole 6'5" frame to get that
got up on top.
Yes.
Got up on top to make that throw. There was a lot of pressure. Watch the power and quickness. Right there, Tyson goes in with. And he just stands tall and delivers. Right now, Coach Tons is trying to get some kind of rhythm for this offense.
Nelson throws that one away.
And that's a good decision. I feel like he missed.
No foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was out of the pocket, and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
I feel like he missed his first read. He misses his first read. You got to sit down right in the middle of the field. And he misses it right there. You got to stick the ball on him, and he's already off. That's one of those young things. You get fooled by coverage somehow, but you got to stick the ball right on your guy. 9 times out of 10, if you stay with the motion guy, he'll tell you where the ball needs to go.
Nelson looking for Wilson. And it's incomplete. Jeremy Kellum, outstanding coverage. And Jeremy Kellum last year, first team All-Arena.
You gotta really do a better job of driving Jeremy Kellum upfield. If you're Devin Wilson, you've got to attack him, push him upfield, snap it off across his face.
Since Kellum's only in his 7th game, you can only judge him by what he's done per game. He's number 1 in the AFL in tackles per game at 8.3. First down, Larry Beavers. They get it on 4th and short. Beavers shows off the quickness.
That's a great play call right there. Using the running game. Beavers comes in flat motion, and you just outflank the defense. Watch how quick he's on the edge before Buckner even has a chance to react to it.
Stevie Tunn's been calling plays in the AFL since the late 90s. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve. And there, fumbled center quarterback exchange. Nelson pounces on the football. And I love having you here for these replays to know who's at fault here.
I'm always going to take blame. It's always the quarterback's fault. I'll never blame my center. They're in there in a different type of battle. And you'll see right here, it hits his hands, hits both hands. That's on us. That's on the QB there. Now, if they just roll it back to your feet on the ground, I can't take that.
Nelson to Wilson. Good job. Gets all the way to the 2-yard line. Would be 1st and goal. 12 yards on the play. Devin Wilson.
It's a good little drive Cleveland's got going on. They've been patient. He's made some good throws, stood in there in some pressure, and this is what you want to see. You want the rest of the game out if you're Cleveland. This is what you want to see, execution of offense.
And Nelson trying to fight his way in, and little Jeremy Kellum. At one point, it was just the 2 of them, and Kellum was able to hold on. I mean, Kellum, not even 200 pounds.
Yeah, but Jeremy Kellum is strong. Very strong. And right there, they always tell you get slowed up right there by Luis Vasquez. And they always tell you when you're running pitch or sweep, any outside plays, you cut back, you're on your own. And you saw right there, he was on his own.
Nelson to throw a little bit too high. Al Phillips had pretty good coverage.
Numbers by number 14, Al Phillips.
Really
We've only mentioned the name of Arkeith Brown one time tonight. And I'll tell you this about number 11. Over the years, he really has been consistent every single season. And he hasn't been all arena since the 2013 season, but it seems like other guys have had injuries, guys have come in and out, but Arkeith Brown seems to always be on the field.
He works really hard and had to battle this year through a couple injuries, but is that go-to guy.
And a fun fact, Arkeith Brown, every game that he's had an interception, you total them up, they're 13-0.
That is a fun fact.
It is. So he gets a pick in the first quarter, and they can just say, all right, we're good.
It's over. Just mail it in.
Arkeith Brown, 30 years of age, played at Texas A&M. Defensive player of the game in Arena Bowl 25. He's going to cover the motion man here. Fourth down, Cleveland 3 for 4 on fourth down. Nelson, got all day, looking, throws it up, knocked away, Arkeith Brown. Now check that, it was Al Phillips.
I keep wanting to call Hunky Cooper when I see that number. But listen, you're one of the best athletes on the field. Take off, go get yourself some points. But Al Phillips says, no way, man. Not in my house, we're shutting it down.
6 stops for the Rattlers.
And
you can see by the look on Arvel Nelson's face, it has been a frustrating evening.
It has, but I would love to see him use his legs a little bit more.
Davila gets it to Amos, and Amos makes a lot out of a little there. 15 yards.
Talk about synchronized defense. Watch Arizona on this play. You've got 3-3 locked up outside here, 1, 2, 3 DBs. You're not rushing your linebacker. You got a 3-man rush. You got a player there, extra player there, and coverage across the board. And this is where I think if you're Arvel Nelson, if there's softness, you got to go attack it with your length and athleticism with your legs. Great coverage there by Arizona.
Set up the screen, and Benson is undercut. Terrific job, DeMarcus Robinson. 7-year vet comes up to make the play.
And this is on Anthony Amos here. He's got to get his man out of there. Watch. Run your guy out. Don't sit there and try to block him. Run him out of there. And he just kind of runs the wrong way, runs right into the play. That could have been a serious knee injury there for Benson. You got to understand the plays that are coming behind you and get your man out of there and clear.
Davila now 16 of 19, 189 yards and 5 touchdowns. Davila throws. Hard to throw it that much over the head of the 6'4" Maurice Purified, but that's what happened.
He dropped that elbow. His front shoulder was up to start. Comes through, it drops your elbow and your backside back, and the ball just sails. But he was just making a fan.
Making fans stand, yeah. Arizona has only had 1 third down, 1 for 1. That tells you how much Cleveland is struggling to slow down Arizona. What a catch!
Oh my gosh!
What a use of hands, Anthony Amos.
And what have we not seen from the other side? The tough catch, the tough play. We've seen Anthony Amos make it a bunch of times tonight. This ball's low, and he sticks the paws out there and goes and gets it. No, he's going to take a shot. D-Rob puts a good shot on him on the backside, but that's a great catch. And we've seen that 3 times tonight from him.
Arizona on the season now, 2 for 2 tonight. They're almost 60% on the season on third down. The give is to Benson and Cleveland not fooled.
Let's go!
Keeping them honest with your Arizona.
Calling in on the play. The old 96, Randy Calling.
Really no rush if you're Arizona. You're in control of everything that's happening, but you still want to move fast enough to continue executing.
But it does appear that was a loss of even if it was just inches, which would give Calling 7 tackles for a loss this season.
You know what? He's been outstanding from the nose spot. Doesn't have the sacks to show it, but he's played hard and done a good job.
Davila, the rush was bearing down, and Fennessy almost had a pick. I tell you, Nick Davila took a big hit, which brings me to the question I have to always ask. You said, when does Nick come out of the game? When does he come out? You've got this game sewn up. When does he come out?
If you're Coach Guy, you see many more of these kind of shots right here. You're going to watch Nick Seether come around the edge. That's a great move. He gets into him and drives him in the ground, and that'd
be his last play if I was Kevin Guy.
Well, he's going to probably let him finish this drive and see how it goes from there, and then he'll make a decision after that.
I'm sure that Nick wants to stay in the game, but he's your franchise quarterback, and they got a bye week next week. Davila gets it to Benson. That's a way to slow down the pass rush.
Capital's pass complete to Benson. Tackle like Yoshia.
That's how you slow that pass rush down, take care of your quarterback. But Seether, watch the drive into the turf right there. That's a really good move by Nick Seether, who doesn't play a whole lot.
No.
But you see the good hand slap and the good movement.
4th down for the Rattlers on the season, 17 of 31 on 4th down.
That's pretty good.
Yes. Davila, pump fake, has time, comes back, has his man, and it's Ron Windsor, and it'll be 1st and goal.
That's just knowing where your guys are. You see he just flashes back, immediately turns, knows where the check down is, and that's a route where you make sure you go at least 4 or 5 yards past the sticks. You don't even stop until you see Nick start to turn. Everything he wants is on this side of the field. He wants that, but then he turns and throws a comeback. See him open his hips, get back to it. Really good job. And then to protect it, because that took a while, great job by the big guys up front.
And this year they brought in new offensive line. Boy, they have clicked from the opening week. Nick Davila, lots of time. Completes it. It's Bo Purify. Touchdown Rattlers.
Nick not thought of a guy that's going to move out of the pocket, but he's going to slide to his left. He's not going to run. Gets it out of his hand at the nick of time, and good read right there. Maurice Purify comes back inside. I mean, look at that throw. That's a spectacular throw. Move it to your left on the move.
That laser, he's just next level.
He's pretty dang good, man. He's pretty good.
This is the end of the third quarter. However,
Third quarter is complete, but they will kick the extra point before we take a break.
I'm going to answer your question. Sit him down right now.
Yes. Night's over. Nick Davila this quarter, 9 of 11, 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think Kevin Guy's seen enough. 3 quarters complete in the desert, and Nick Davila carving up that Cleveland defense. We're coming back with the fourth quarter. You're watching the AFL on ESPN. Want access to every AFL game at once? Go to arenafootball.com and click AFL Live for an online broadcast of games around the league via the ESPN3 video player. Or if you're on the go, download the Watch ESPN app to your mobile device and keep up with AFL action as it happens. Little guys having fun. Joe Powell instead of Larry Beavers, and he will not get a chance at a return. And we will step away for a moment. Nick Davila, his last touchdown pass, and it may be his final throw of the night. He makes it count, his 6th touchdown pass of the game.
Official timeout brought to you by UCL Foundation of East Valley. Thanks for doing every Rattlers home game. We are those who serve and protect our great country with the Howard Air Seats for Soldiers program. Please join the Arizona Rattlers in welcoming for the regular season finale all active and retired United States military personnel. country. And thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Arizona with the big lead, and this franchise has been great for a long time. And the guy sitting to my right, Sid Bonner, was a part of getting this franchise going. And there is 13, the lefty. Calvin checks it in. Look at the young Sid Bonner. And here's the defense is getting it done.
Hunky Cooper, Randy Gatewood in the shot.
You guys were the original Three Amigos, and now they're the modern-day Three Amigos. Bo Purify, Rod Windsor, and Nick Davila.
I think what makes it special is to get a core group of guys that you keep together. You keep them together, that's how you become special, and these guys have gone way beyond special with what they've been able to do here.
See those 3 titles in a row, and they lost in 2011 on the final play, and in 2015 they were a play away from getting to their 5th straight Arena Bowl. Arvel Nelson, he throws that one into the 3rd row. Nick Davila, where he's going to go down amongst the great quarterbacks in AFL history, that's still yet to be determined. But if he stopped today, he's already in the conversation.
Oh, without a doubt. Nobody's done this. Nobody's done that. And the stuff he's done has separated him from a lot of guys. And I don't even put him past me. I mean, this guy's been so consistent, so good that...
But let's not forget Jay Gruden.
Outstanding.
Now, Jay Gruden played on great, complete teams, but he won 4 titles.
He did. I'm not forgetting about Jay. I'm just...
Well, you said nobody done that. You circled 3, and Jay's got 4.
3 straight.
Okay. Well, it didn't say straight on there. Well, so I wanted to make sure we were clear.
It's an incomplete forward pass. 3rd down.
Let's also look at the numbers he's put up. The wins, losses.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even close.
Not even close. I agree.
Probably going to be the fastest to every landmark in the history of this game. Not even close.
Helped a little bit by several seasons of 18-game seasons when a lot of the great ones like you played 14-game seasons.
Well, he's playing and winning. And, and I understand that, but he's just been so gosh darn consistent.
Colin Taylor falls down on the route. I was just trying to provide some other perspective because in this modern game, it's Nick and then everybody else.
Well, it is. But you also got 2 guys that are right there with him, talent-wise. They haven't been able to put it all together like he has. Dan Rodabaugh is just as talented.
Tommy Grady, they got to win an Arena Bowl.
Right. They haven't been able to put it together when it matters. This guy has the it factor that enables him to do it when it counts the most.
Arvel Nelson overthrows Lewis by about 10 yards. That's the 7th stop of the game. Arvel Nelson, we came in so excited to watch him play. He's been dynamic, but the young player still got stuff to work on.
Casino Arizona throw for the no contest. Please welcome tonight's contestant, Gabe. There's 4 different locations on the field you can throw from, each representing a different cash value ranging from $100 to $7,777. Throw a football from one of those locations, hit the Casino Arizona target in the north end zone, and Dave, you win that cash. So where are you going to throw from, Dave? Dave's moving up to the north end, 10-yard line for $100, and Joe, let's make some noise. Cheer on Dave. Well done, and thank you
quarterback in the game is Shane Boyd. 5 NFL teams he spent time with. Right here, the Arizona Cardinals, Tennessee, Houston, Indy, and Pittsburgh. He is a true journeyman. Just loves the game of football. He's 33 years of age, Shane Boyd. Played his college ball at Kentucky. Comes in. First play. Touchdown, Rattlers. 5-yard touchdown pass, Shane Boyd. Nick Davila. He enjoys it.
You're like, what's so special about Nick? I can do it too. Double release route. You're going to get your tight end up the field and fullback up the sideline. And the laser smiling.
And I think that Nick would admit it as well that, you know, that taste of defeat at the end of last year, the very controversial ending, to not get to the Arena Bowl. These guys are used to getting the Arena Bowl and winning the Arena Bowl, and it seems they are clearly on a mission to get back to that spot.
Well, I think after that play last year, you talked about the Reggie Gray fumble, not fumble play. It sparked the fire in a lot of these guys.
Still talked about. Almost a full year later. And the extra point is missed. That's 4 misses tonight. Now, hold on, there's a penalty flag. Been a rough night for Zendejas. Arizona during this great run they've had, the only problem they've had is in the kicking game. Kevin Guy's gone through some kickers.
He has. And Zendejas on his second tour of duty.
It's no good. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 52, kicking team. That penalty will be enforced on the first play after the kickoff.
Monday, baseball. Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers start a 3-game series against Big Papi and the Red Sox at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. It'll also be streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. And stay tuned after the game for baseball tonight. They'll have highlights and analysis. That is Monday night. David Ortiz, catch him while you can. His retirement season. Arizona, you know, if we're just trying to forecast based on seeds, said, you're thinking Arizona's going to get to Arena Bowl 29. On the other side, last year we had Jacksonville surprise people and come out of there. Philadelphia, outstanding team. Orlando, outstanding team. Much harder to predict what's going to happen in the American Conference.
Man, those are 2 really, really good teams. Well coached, both those teams. I feel like Orlando has played extremely well, having to go with 2 quarterbacks. So Rob Keefe deserves a ton of credit. They've got a lot of talent. Philly, I just feel like it's Philly's year to come out of there. Like they're ready. I feel like it's their year to move on.
Philadelphia has an Arena Bowl title, 2008. They've lost in 2 Arena Bowls. As you see there, the American Conference and the National Conference. And Orlando will host Philadelphia next week. That'll determine who's the top seed overall. Because if Orlando wins, they'll be the top seed overall. Arizona will be the top seed in the National Conference and the top seed overall if Philadelphia wins. And Cleveland, 7-8. It appears they're going to be 7-9. But, you know, they almost won in L.A. They would have a chance. I mean, you can't knock them out when they go to L.A. in week 1.
Absolutely. After falling way behind, as you get a look at Steven Panisak from LaSalle, comes in and gets his first snaps.
And that one got away from him. Arvel Nelson, this was a very tough night.
But listen, this kid brims confidence, and he'll rebound and get better. It just snowballed on him. Everything from the beginning, the onset, everything just kind of snowballed on him.
I mean, a safety from the first play from scrimmage. Right from there, things just went downhill. Colin Taylor makes the catch. Fights to the 23-yard line. Let's take a look at the night of Arvel Nelson.
He's been harassed and hit and physically hit all day. You see the great speed from Glassberg there to run him down. Damian Burrell gets him on the edge. But there was never one moment of the game where he took the ball and ran with it to force those guys to really stay back and not come with their ears pinned.
Panasek, nice ball, but Colin Taylor just mistimed his jump.
I think it was a little behind him, but he did mistime the jump. It was a little behind the shoulder. But on that, you just he's trying to get his first touchdown pass, his first action. Watch the motion, man, and the ball's going to sail a little bit over the top. He mistimes his jump.
Really,
that's all
like
on
a
Colin
credit card
Taylor,
vertical. I mean, he
who
normally
has
go up
a
and get that.
40-inch vertical, people. So he can jump.
That's why it was so jarring, because other guys can't get up 40 inches in the air.
I thought for sure it had to be behind. That was a good ball.
Yeah.
Might have had a little too much pace for him to get to, but you can understand Panasek is excited to be out there. There's adrenaline flowing through him.
Panasek. Lewis cannot make the catch. Talking about Arvel Nelson, given that they have the bye week next week, I mean, if he's the kind of young man that we perceive him to be, this is going to drive him. And this is not going to set him back. This is going to push him forward. And he's going to have a couple weeks to get this Cleveland team right for the first round of the postseason.
Absolutely. And Cleveland just being 1 of 8 on third down, they're going to have to change those numbers, get better. He's going to have to be better. And I think there's going to have to be a little more focus. You got to get focused. Sometimes when you're young, it's fun, it's exciting, but you've got to focus in on the task at hand.
Panasek looking for Taylor, underthrown, and it's going to be pass interference. Had Kellum known where the ball was, he could have turned around and had himself an easy interception.
Pass interference, number 20, defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic, first down.
See a nice fade route, or corner route, excuse me. Watch the motion man go inside and then back to the corner. Ball's underthrown, and there's the contact right in front. Colin Taylor knows he's got one there.
Panasek in trouble, he'll go down. 5 sacks tonight for the Rattlers. This time it's Rodney Fritz.
Rodney Fritz, and this is one of those performances by these guys up front. They had one in week 1 against Portland with 6 sacks. But this is just a bull rush. Look at number 17, gets down and low. I'll tell you what, that is unfair. DJ Brandell not low enough, not strong enough. Fritz just too much power. Walks him back into the backfield.
Try to give our viewers perspective on 5 sacks in a night, because Arizona leads the league coming into tonight with 24, and that was through 15 games.
I mean, it's been incredible, and it kills your momentum. That's the only thing you're thinking about is protecting.
That's through the hands of Larry Beavers, and Larry Beavers has had himself a difficult night.
He has. He struggled tonight. Listen, this entire team has struggled tonight. There's not one player on that team that can say they played a great game or a good game. This team has come in here and struggled. But listen, you know now what it's going to take to go on the road and try to beat a good team. Whether it be LA or whether it be back here in the second round, they know what it's going to take, and it's going to have to be some mental checkups going on over the next week and a half.
Panasek's got Taylor, touchdown Gladiators. Panasek gets his first touchdown pass. Rookie out of LaSalle. That's got to feel pretty good. Even though his teams get beat bad, that's got to feel good.
Hey, well, listen, this is such a good job by Panasek. Freeze it right here, guys. Right here. His eyes immediately go to this corner right here to try to get him to go up. And watch him turn and look. Just that little shuffle there with his shoulder. That's kind of a veteran-type player. That's a great job by Panasek.
Trevino on for the extra point. And it wasn't a very good snap. Nelson, it took him a moment to get it down. The first career touchdown pass in the AFL. There's Panasek to Taylor. Cleveland gets the score.
ticket number Z55204. Again, Z55204.
Matches continue on ESPN2 at 7:30 a.m. Eastern when the Blues battle the Reds at Beijing's Bird's Nest Stadium in the first derby outside the UK. Got to watch these two renew their rivalry. Manchester City, Manchester United. You can also catch it on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. We're going to go onside here, or is Cleveland just going to go ahead and play it straight?
Get your young quarterback, trying to get him more reps.
They kick it deep. It's Amos. Anthony Amos into Cleveland territory. Larry Beavers saves the touchdown, 33 yards on the return. Good night for Anthony Amos. He's been good at receiver and excellent in the return game. One kickoff return for a touchdown. And here he sets up Arizona with excellent field position. Looking back on this season, and here you have Orlando and Arizona in a game that was billed as the game a week ago. And Arizona at home gets the win. They win by 17 points, which brings us to what Kevin Guy talked about. When Arizona lost by a touchdown at Tampa Bay, 63-56, he described it to us as the worst loss in franchise history. Since then, they've reeled off 6 straight wins. Add another one, call it 7. Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom, right, to get everybody's attention. I actually believe, though, in their case, it was more injuries. They had nobody in the secondary, and they had all those games on the road. across the country as Boyd lost it momentarily, then he recovers it. But you know Kevin Guy, he's all about finding the right buttons to motivate his team, and whatever he's doing, it's worked.
It has worked, and you talked about him being across country at Orlando, at Philly, at Tampa, 3 out of 4 weeks. With the amount of injuries they had, all close games except for the Orlando game. Got away from him at the end, but very proud man. Very proud man, and has been successful and
everywhere.
Wants to be successful moving forward.
He's already in 2 Hall of Fames, and he's a nominee for the AFL Hall of Fame.
Which he's
a lot.
Absolutely getting
it. He's already 5th all-time in wins with 116. 117th is only a little more than 4 minutes away. If he continues coaching, at some point we will be having conversations debating whether Kevin Guy or the late Tim Markham will go down as the best coach ever. Because right now it's Tim Markham in a landslide, but Kevin Guy is approaching the conversation.
I mean, listen, playing against Markham for so many years, I have had the utmost respect for Coach. And the way his team's brought it, it's the same thing I see from Kevin Guy's team.
True.
Exact same thing.
Amos. All right, I'm just playing a little bit of favoritism here. But Amos now has 7 catches for over 100 yards, but hasn't scored. How about get him in the end zone? He's done so much
What's
tonight.
important to you? He's already got a touchdown.
Kick returns. How about receiving touchdown?
Everybody doesn't get a touchdown. How come Simons doesn't have a touchdown? Huh? How come he doesn't get one? How come Michael Benson doesn't get one? Those guys are blocking all day. He's already got a touchdown on a return. Great night. Enjoy it.
Sounds like you're almost against him scoring.
I'm not against him. I think he's great.
He's just been terrific in the receiving game. I want to see him get a receiving touchdown. And screen to Benson. He got hit by 7 of the 8 guys on the field.
What's funny is watching DeMarcus Robinson and Joe Powell come in there and hit him. Watch when 21-3 get to the party and bounce off of him. He's shrugging guys off. Watch it. Oh, bounces right off. I mean, D-Rob got him down. But look at the
Okay, 1, 2 have hit him.
3
That's
again.
3, 4. That's 5. Okay. I said 7. It felt like it, but it was 5.
Your Arizona Rattlers return to the action in the community field and the Snake Pit Saturday.
All right, Anthony Amos. Let's take a look at his night. Now here he was, first time he touched the football. 56-yard kickoff return for the touchdown.
One of those pretty running guys, too. When
Yeah,
running.
looks great. That was a nice catch.
Tough catch. I mean, just a strong effort all around on a bunch of different routes. Tough catch there on the sail-in route. He's been really good. Really good.
Is he the starting 3rd receiver in the postseason? Good problem to have.
It is a good problem because you got Chasey Adder, who's had a great year. Another guy that gives you size, but what he gives you is a speed aspect.
And the return game.
And the return game.
Shane Boyd. Caught. Touchdown, Rod Windsor. Make it 5, Rod.
Corner out. Going to come in tight motion and whips it out. Good ball. Ball's out on time and early. That's a good job by Shane Boyd. Gets it out early and away. I mean, really no chance for DeMarcus Robinson on that play. D-Rob close, but when the ball's thrown on time, you can't do anything about that.
Here are the numbers for Rod Windsor. 7 catches, 75 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
He's got to be in the conversation, I think, for the MVP. He's got to be.
Very high snap. Boyd does a nice job to get it down, and Zendejas gets the extra point. All right, here are the standings. Arizona will host Portland An opening playoff game. That'll be on CBS Sports Network Saturday, August 6th. Arizona hosts Portland. And the other side, it really comes down to next week. Philadelphia at Orlando. That will decide. That's the final piece of the puzzle to know all the matchups. We know who's playing who in the National Conference. With Cleveland losing this game, we know for sure that they're going to go to L.A. in the first round. So we're just really waiting on Orlando, Philly to set up the rest of the postseason.
What a big game. Big game. And lurking in the wings, and nobody really giving them any kind of credit or thinking they're going to do anything, are the ultra-talented Jacksonville Sharks.
Right, and think about it, whichever team loses that game next week has that feeling of dread. Okay, we just lost, and now we got to play Jacksonville.
I mean, very physical team. Got a much-needed win.
And look, when Tommy Grady's hot with those receivers, but something's been off with that team.
Let me tell you, who don't you have? I mean, Jerry Turner's gone from last year on the defensive line. Joe Sykes, the Defensive Player of the Year, is gone from that team. They added Kareem Smith, great player, but he hasn't put the numbers up.
Nobody's
as Joe Sykes.
Yeah.
Joe Sykes was completely dominant last year, unheard of. PlayStation numbers.
He was who we talk about in the open when we had Jacksonville. This is a game that's about offense, and we were talking about Joe Sykes. That's how good he was. And no chance at a return. Good soccer players coming up Monday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Our International Champions Cup matches continue. Manchester City, Manchester United at Beijing's Bird's Nest. And their first derby outside the UK. That game will also be available on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. See, we're West Coasters. We got to get up early on Monday, 4:30 in the morning to check that out. Lowest point
What's
total
wrong
this
with getting up that
season, 41 points. Right now, they're stuck on 20. This reminds us of the beginning of the season. Remember Arizona holding teams under 30 points the first couple weeks?
They get one more sack, they'll tie that season-high 6 from that first game.
Timeout.
1 minute warning. We will come back for the final 60 seconds. Arizona cruising to their 13th win. One minute warning here in Phoenix. Arizona from the opening play has dominated this game. 1 minute timing rules are in effect. The rules switch to pretty much the outdoor rules. A receiver makes the catch. He just has to lean the ball over the sideboards. That'll stop the clock. The clock stops on incomplete passes.
Or negative plays.
Negative plays. Cleveland put it. I mean, they can change the rules any way you want. Arizona's going to win.
Ain't happening tonight.
Rod Windsor, 5 touchdowns tonight. His season high, 6 touchdowns. Panasek gets to Colin Taylor. Taylor does get out of bounds, which will stop the clock. Since you and I will not be paired together again until Arena Bowl 29, what are your thoughts on season 29 of the AFL? As we get set for the postseason?
My thoughts are the Arizona team came out with a mission in mind after what happened to them last year. I think Philadelphia did the same thing. After not getting there the last couple of years, they've come out on a mission this year. Orlando, the sleeper, has been fun to watch because they're so talented. But it's right now, to me, it's a 3-team race unless Jacksonville can get hot.
And a sack, and it's Arkeith Brown, the interception. And Arkeith Brown
Get
been a
down.
return man. He does the veteran move there, and he goes down, which adds to the stat that we all love. Yes, Arkeith Brown gets the pick, and they are 14-0 when he gets a pick. There it is.
That's awesome.
No foul on the play. First down, Arizona.
4 turnovers for Cleveland.
He just throws it late, and he's really late on the throw. Doesn't have enough on it. But right there, if you're LB, you got to go up for that ball. Go up and try to distract. Try to distract something. Just make sure it doesn't come down in the hands of Arkeith Brown.
Well, Arkeith Brown, his 6th interception.
But then he's running
the
clock.
New Orleans Saints, he's working the clock down. He's a veteran. He's 30. He knows these things. Plus, he went to Texas A&M. You have to have like 25,000 on the SAT to go there. Boyd will hand it off to Benson. And the clock will continue to run. It does not appear as though Cleveland will use one of their 2 timeouts. They do not have to snap the ball again. So Arizona will finish the regular season 13-3. Cleveland finishes 7-9. Both teams have a bye next week. So regular seasons are complete. Nick Davila came in with 104 touchdown passes. He throws 6. Finishes the year with 110 touchdown passes. And has made a very strong case to be the 2016 AFL MVP. Hello again to everyone. Our Wolf alongside the Hall of Famer Sid Bonner. And Sid, do you think that Nick sealed today the deal, that he's the MVP?
I think he's the front runner. It depends. There's a big game. Orlando, Philly, with a couple guys that could be in the running as well. So we'll see what happens. But right now, he's got to be the front runner.
And certainly Arizona is the front runner. Looking at the postseason, we bring in their head coach, Kevin Guy. And Coach, your team played well, and they really came out on fire. What was the message coming into this game? Because your guys played with a lot of urgency.
Well, we didn't want to leave any doubt that we want this thing coming through the desert. So, you know, our guys came out with a lot of energy tonight. We started fast on them, and we never took the foot off the gas pedal.
Coach, offensively, you guys didn't get a lot of touches early, but when they were on the field, outside of the one play, everything was efficient. They ran the game plan with precision. Talk about your offense tonight.
Well, they were very efficient. You just said it. Ran it with precision. So, I mean, all the way up and down. You know, I'd like to see our screen game be a little better, but the defensive line was holding. I'm going to address that with the refs in the league, but, you know, they keep holding their fullbacks and tight ends, not letting them out. We need to get more eyes on that so we can get those calls. But, you know, overall, I was very happy with the whole team effort tonight. Great crowd tonight here on Sunday night, and Rattler Nation came strong tonight.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Good luck in the postseason.
You bet, guys. Thank you.
Well said, Bonner. This was fun. We saw an Arizona team peaking at the right time.
It was fun. It was fun to watch a team ready for the playoffs.
They certainly look ready for the postseason. We had a ton of fun here in the desert. And a big thank you to our entire ESPN crew, and in particular, one of our favorite producers in the business, Mark Tunnelman. T-Man, always, you take great care of us. We have a lot of fun. And it was all about the Rattlers tonight. They get it done on behalf of our entire ESPN crew. My friend and partner, Sid Bonner. I am Ari Wolf, saying so long. Have a great night, everybody.
Hold your tinkle. Hold your tinkle.
AFL on ESPN in Phoenix on a Sunday night.